Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. It is February 1st, 2025. The Royal Rumble just went off the air. Billy TKO, Ango. Holy shit.
What the fuck, man?
Well, everybody's predictions were wrong.
Nobody got that right.
Everybody.
I take that back. I know one person who texted me today that said Jey Uso was going to win. I did not believe the words that came out of his mouth, but he does have the text to prove it. One person.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
That's right, guys. Jey Uso won the WWE Royal Rumble, and we are live. We're going to talk about the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. We're going to talk about the matches, the eliminations, the surprises. WWE had an announcement today. Holy shit. I didn't expect this, man.
No, I did not either. I don't know what's going on.
That was something, huh?
Yeah, that was for sure something. Lot of questions coming out of this Royal Rumble, no doubt.
Definitely a lot of questions. We're going to talk about all that stuff. We are live on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. So shout out to everybody who is watching us tonight. As always, when we do live streams, we like to engage with the chat. So I'm sure a lot of people are going to have a ton of crazy opinions. If you guys want them read on the stream, feel free to drop a super chat. It guarantees that your questions and comments will be responded to. Members on the channel also get the highest priority. So just keep that in mind. Holy shit, dude. We got Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair wins the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
DIY. They retain against Motor City Machine Guns. Kevin Owens and John Cena have an iconic ladder match.
Oh my goodness.
But we get Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble, and then what's actually even more insane was how many stories were told in the Royal Rumble.
Yes.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I definitely didn't expect that. Holy shit, dude. Billy, give me your just like initial reaction. Like, what are you thinking? Like,
so okay. Number one, all biases aside, dude, Jey Uso winning, unpredictability exists again in pro wrestling. So no matter what, I'm not mad at that. I am so happy that Jey Uso won. Now, of course, we sit here and we talk about pro wrestling and we analyze it and stuff like that. There's a lot of questions that I have for just what is to come with WrestleMania and what does it look like. So immediate reaction is like, wow, Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble. Main question is does that mean something right now?
Well, what do you want to know? Ask your questions. Like, what do you mean? Like,
one thing that I noticed, maybe I missed it because maybe I was running down here really fast, but Jey Uso did not point at the sign.
Okay.
He did his yeet, there's just so many questions, man. There's so many, like, if Jey is going to main event WrestleMania with Gunther, we still obviously have the Elimination Chamber, but it's like, it just seems so unpredictable right now.
Well, I think the first thing I have to say, right, when you watch this Royal Rumble and you see Jey Uso winning, they did a phenomenal job of producing this match in a way where you would have never seen it coming, because the final three was John Cena, Logan Paul, and Jey Uso.
Okay, people are saying that he did point at the sign. Okay, thank you, guys.
So here's the thing, right? You got to think of how we got there. Look at what WWE did tonight as far as the eliminations. They did this in the women's match and they did this in the men's match, but the final was different, right? So in the women's match, Nia Jax took out 6 women, and then it seemed like a very predictable final 3 with Roxanne, Charlotte, and Nia.
Yeah.
But at that point, it was very telling that Charlotte was probably winning the match, right?
Right, for sure.
With all the stuff that happened outside of the ring with CM Punk and Seth and Logan Paul and everything that happened right there, everybody probably thought, okay, this is John Cena's win. And that's where WWE shocked everybody and had Jey Uso win. So the thing is, when we think about WrestleMania and going into WrestleMania, they already laid out the roadmap.
For sure. For sure. There's a lot of stories that were told regardless.
What I loved about it though was that they're intertwined. The Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns thing, we're going back in time again with
Mhm.
guys. So if they want, we can have a Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns WrestleMania match. But then what happened with Punk and Roman, and then Punk walking away from
Paul Heyman.
Heyman?
Yeah.
We didn't get the favor, right? So WWE did something really exceptional today where they have done all of this storytelling. I don't even know if WWE knows their plans for WrestleMania, except 1000% Jey Uso is going to main event WrestleMania.
No matter what we think, that guy is going to main event WrestleMania.
Or do they have the women main event this year?
I think personally, I think you can have, there's 2 nights.
Yeah.
So I think you can have Jay main event night 1. I think to live up to the moniker and everything along those lines, there's no better time. You know what I mean? I mean, this guy is, no matter what we sit here and think, like, this guy is over.
He is.
And there's no denying that. I almost feel wrong for even leaving him out of a conversation now. You know what I mean?
Of course.
I feel like nobody had this in their bingo card.
That's what I love the most.
And that's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
So that I can get behind, because they didn't answer any of the stories that we thought they would answer. They didn't really, they kind of set it up, but they didn't answer those actual questions that we had, and instead gave us a wonderful moment.
So the thing is, in a way, they kind of did give us some of those answers, right?
Okay.
So with the Royal Rumble, for example, having Logan Paul and John Cena, that could be the WrestleMania match, right?
For sure.
Yeah. Obviously, you have to consider Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre now. So that's something that's there on the table. I think there's a lot of answers. It's in front of us. I think WWE is putting it in front of our eyes, Billy. But the problem is, I think a lot of people are having a hard time deciphering which way they're going to go.
Yeah.
Because for the first time, WWE is actually messing with people, and they're kind of not making it as predictable. They're throwing it out there. They're showing you, especially when you look at the Rollins, Roman, and Punk situation, they're kind of throwing it in your face. But what if Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble and he doesn't choose Gunther?
Yeah. There's also that.
You know, that could always be a possibility too, right? Like, there's a lot of avenues they can go. I think that's what makes this such a great moment, is that WWE, we knew the men's Rumble was very unpredictable, and I think me and you both had some really fun predictions, right?
For sure.
The Rock coming out at number 31, being the executive, you know, the Roman Reigns, Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa fantasy booking. It sounds fun, and it sounds cool, and it sounds reasonable, right?
Yeah.
And of course, with you talking about CM Punk winning, all of these things in my mind were like, oh, this can happen.
Yeah, they make sense.
So WWE did the thing that I love most about professional wrestling, and it caught me off guard. I thought for sure when I saw Jey Uso and John Cena, I thought for sure that was John Cena's win.
Yeah, so did I.
Very crazy.
I'm not going to lie, it feels like a fever dream.
Yeah, I definitely didn't expect this. But like I said, the best moments are the unpredictable ones.
Yes.
And the funnest moments in professional wrestling are the ones that you kind of like tune into with no expectations, right? I think it was very safe to say we knew going into this Royal Rumble, we don't really have expectations other than the fact that it's really going to be stacked, right?
Yeah.
That's cool. Like, I can't listen, if you see somebody on Twitter disappointed that Jey Uso won, fuck them. Because the reality is they just want to be mad about something all the time. But
right. And I think the thing about it is like, it's we have to remember what WWE's like actual target audience is.
For sure.
We have to remember that like it is genuinely for like the kids, and it is for the families. You know what I mean? And Jey Uso, no matter what we sit here and think, is a guy who can sell tickets. He puts butts in seats. I mean, why not? You know what I mean? People will say we're sitting here complaining, whatever. I'm not complaining.
I'm not.
I'm happy as hell.
I was advocating for Jey Uso to get the world championship. I literally talked about it on Monday.
Why not?
Like,
Yeah, you had a conversation with the chat on Monday after Saturday night's main event after he put on the freaking banger with.
yeah. I just didn't think they would do it at the Royal Rumble. That's that for me. I'm satisfied. Listen, we
Yeah.
could sit here and we could act like, oh, Jay has a limited move set or this or that.
Mhm.
Yeah, maybe I don't like the spear being his finisher, but Jey Uso is the guy who currently is putting people in seats. He's got the great entrance. He's got the catchphrase. And in professional wrestling, you know, I know the wrestling community online, they're pissed about this, but it's not about the wrestling aspect. It's about those moments and it's the happiness. Look at the crowd, 70,000 people yeeted, bro. Like
doing this.
And now you get Jey Uso, who, by the way, Quavo, Travis Scott, who the fuck is he coming out with at WrestleMania? You best believe that's going to be a moment. If he wins a world championship belt at WrestleMania and he's celebrating with the celebs, I'm telling you right now, it's groundbreaking. And it's like I said before in previous shows, guys, he doesn't need to be a world champion forever. He just needs to win the world championship. So
Because he deserves it.
he does. And listen, what does it say if you're a talent who gets over like Jey Uso or LA Knight, for example, right? Like, if you don't put a belt on them at some point, if you don't capitalize on that success, what does that say to talent backstage where it's like, oh, you got over and now we're not going to use you?
Well, I think that's actually a really good point because if you look back at when people were so mad about everything with LA Knight and the way that he was coming up through the ranks, this is kind of almost the same situation, but instead they pull the trigger.
Exactly.
It's like, are you mad or are you not? Because you were mad at LA Knight, but now you're mad at Jey Uso, and it's the same exact scenario.
It is. And listen, it just goes to show you that the professional wrestling aspect isn't the most important thing.
Exactly.
And I know the IWC wants to be triggered and act like emotional bitches about it, but the reality is that's not what it's about. Now, there are a lot of people in the industry who might disagree with me, but at the end of the day, I can tell you right now, tonight, Royal Rumble went up against Collision. I didn't watch Collision, but I'm sure there was probably a couple banger matches on that show. But the reality is, what are people watching? The Royal Rumble. Because if you want to watch really, really good wrestling matches, you can get that anywhere. But if you want to watch the spectacle and that moment where a new star is being made, which, by the way, I say this all the time, Royal Rumble, King of the Ring, Money in the Bank, these things should be to put somebody in that top spot. So, yeah, for me, I fully support this. It's not really a weird take for me, but it's just really interesting to see how it played out. I definitely was caught off guard.
Yeah.
Definitely didn't think that was going to happen. And I think that's what makes it even better. Like I said, I think our fantasy booking and our predictions were fun.
Yeah.
Very reasonable. But I think this is one of those things where it's like, okay, now it feels good to be a fan because you're watching and you're being like, oh, wow, they did not tell us. They did not show us. They did not make it even look. By the way, a lot of the time in this Royal Rumble match, for those who didn't pay attention, Penta, Jacob Fatu, Braun Breaker, Speed, there was a lot of moments where they were just like, I mean, they were getting those moments in, right?
Yeah, all over the place.
They didn't make you think Jey Uso could win at all. There wasn't a moment in the match where it was like Jey Uso shockingly eliminated somebody. It was literally Jey Uso throwing out John Cena. That was the shock. That was the moment.
And why not have that moment, man? I mean, what a special night.
And who was talking about this, Billy, the other day about Jey Uso winning the world championship and then a heel turn from Sammy and his boy?
And then they tell that story in there. Come on, dude.
Oh, I don't know if the IWC is paying attention.
Anybody see it? Do people see it? Do you not? What's going on?
Pay attention to the tweets. Pay attention to the videos and the streams, guys. I'm telling you guys things in advance. Yeah, I didn't call Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble, but
that story was for sure being told.
It's being told, baby, and this is the way they're going to get
Karrion Kross is really about to get in that man Sammy's head now.
Exactly. We got a couple super chats.
Bring them on.
Well, let's go ahead and read them. Sam Piboon dropped a $9.99. He says, why didn't we see AJ Lee tonight? And will we see AJ Lee return before WrestleMania 41? We didn't see her because the reality is they didn't need her. She's not part of the plans. I mean, I told you, Billy, too, like AJ being in the Royal Rumble really doesn't make much sense because if she returns, it's not going to be for a championship match anyways.
Right.
People got to remember the Royal Rumble is designed to sell people on the championship matches. That's the road to WrestleMania, right? So yeah, AJ Lee didn't return because there was no point for her to return. Do I think we see her before WrestleMania 41? I do.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it died tonight. Maybe not.
I'll tell you why.
Bring it on.
Roxanne Perez made history tonight.
Yes, she did.
Roxanne Perez entered at number 3. She was in the finale.
And she's facing Julia at Vengeance Day, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think Roxanne Perez will be going to the main roster. I think Roxanne Perez and AJ Lee is the match that they're going to want to make. I think we'll get to that point. So I'm geeked about it. I mean, for me, I think AJ Lee does return. If she doesn't return, no big deal. But I think it does. What do you want? AJ Lee versus Rhea Ripley? AJ Lee versus Tiffany Stratton? Let's be realistic here. Let's be realistic, right?
AJ and Roxanne makes a lot of sense.
Exactly. Shout out to Sam Pibboon for the $9.99. We got a couple more. Guys, we do have a super chat goal of 10. So if you guys want to help us hit the goal, make sure you guys drop a super chat. It guarantees that your questions will be put up on the screen and answered. Nadia dropping her first ever super chat on the channel, 99 cents. Hey, we'll take it. Appreciate the love. I think Nadia dropped another one too. It's going really fast. Yeah, she dropped another one. So no comments associated with these, but shout out to Nadia.
Thank you, Nadia.
And then Tolino Channel, welcome back, buddy. Jay versus Gunther, Sammy heel, Jay eliminated Sammy.
Talked about it.
Guys, I'm trying to tell you, man. I'm trying to tell
you. Live streams, man. You guys never know what you're going to get. These are really special. These are really fun.
They're on the live streams. They're on Twitter. I put these out for a reason. Just so happened that Ingo knows best.
Come on, man.
Crazy. Shout out to Tolino Channel for the super chat. Omer from Real Take Wrestling dropping $4.99. He says, so happy for Jay. I just hope there's a plan for this. Also, chat, hit that like button. That's right, guys. Hit that like button. We have almost 1,000 people watching us live across all platforms. Yes, across all platforms. Unbelievable. Shout out to everybody showing love. I'm happy for Jay. I do hope there's a plan for this. I think there is. Listen, man, this is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. So they could have given us The Rock. They could have given us CM Punk. They could have given us all these different things. But the reality is, man, they didn't have to do a Royal Rumble win for those stories and things to happen. And people got to remember Elimination Chamber as well.
Yes.
Which I think after watching the Royal Rumble today, when you got Damian Priest, Drew, Seth, Roman, you could throw Logan Paul in the mix if you want, John Cena, right? Elimination Chamber, winner faces Cody. If you thought tonight was stacked, ladies and gentlemen, just wait for that.
Baby. March 1st.
Crazy. Shout out to Omer from Real Take Wrestling for the $4.99. The super chats are flying in, so let's get to these.
Yeah, they're flowing in. I'm seeing them.
Hey, Jackson dropping $1.99. Man, this makes the build up to Elimination Chamber special. It does. It does, man. Billy, let me ask you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think there's any chance in hell that Jey Uso challenges Cody?
Of course there's a chance. Right?
Do you think he would pick Cody? Two baby faces?
No, I don't think he would actually pick Cody, but at this point in time, I think we have to be realistic here and say that anything is possible again.
Yeah.
I think we have to go away from what we think is predictable no longer being predictable anymore.
Yeah.
Because we just witnessed it tonight. Everybody had Punk, you had Roman, you had Rock. There were numerous names that you could have threw on that board to win that Royal Rumble, but instead WWE chose to give you what they thought was going to be the best outcome for fan experience, and they gave you that. So do I think that they pick or he goes out and picks Cody? No, but it's not. Again, sitting here saying that's my predictable thought. You know what I mean? And now I have to be prepared for the unpredictable.
Yeah. People got to remember WWE is all about creating moments.
Yep.
Today, they focused on the moments and the stories, so they just did a really good job with that. I mean, you're right. Nothing at this point, we really can't be too predictable about it. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, who knows? But shit, this makes me even more excited for Elimination Chamber. 1,000%.
Oh, dude, for sure. Because there's still so many. There's so many questions that need to be answered. Come on, man.
Well, also, how about this too? Just a couple moments in the Royal Rumble. Braun Strowman and Jacob Fatu continues.
Yep.
Braun Breaker spearing Roman, his greatest spear in his career.
That was
unbelievable.
So pretty. It was such a pretty spear.
You got the Ludwig Kaiser, Sheamus, Penta, Chad Gable. You have all those guys building up and heating up for the Raw
ladder match at WrestleMania. I think you are absolutely right. Going back to what we talked about.
Yeah, it's just a lot of great moments in there, man. And then
Sure.
you just, like I said, they're all about moments, but they're all about creating those stories too. So I was really happy to see that tonight for sure.
Yeah.
Shout out to A Jackson for the $1.99. Tanya dropping a $5 USD super chat. So happy for Jay. Love the possible dream matches with Jacob Fatu. Yeah. The camera work was exceptional. They did a really good job with that, honestly. The cameramen focusing on these moments. There's moments between people.
Yeah, there was one that they forgot.
Which one?
The one where Penta put 2 feet down.
2 feet down?
Yeah, you didn't see that?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Penta technically touched the floor. Okay. Yeah, listen, I'm not going to complain about that. I mean, whatever it is, what it is.
No, it is what it is. I just had to talk about it.
Yeah. That's fine. It's whatever. But I get what you're saying. Yeah. I mean, this is where commentary matters, right? Commentary immediately sold it as, hey, it was just 1 foot. It wasn't the second. The refs confirmed it was one.
They hurried up and jumped.
Yeah, they pivoted from that. A lot of potential matchups coming from this, which I thought was very cool to see.
For sure.
And two, like the same thing applies for the women. Honestly, like even in the women's Royal Rumble, there was a lot of moments and a lot of things. You even texted me about Bianca turning heel. There was that moment where Naomi and Jordynne Grace are hugging. Mm-hmm. Bianca planted a seed there.
Yep.
So I'm glad we saw this with Triple H last year. We're seeing it this year with Triple H. The way that he books Royal Rumble matches is the stories are intertwined. By the way, nobody's talking about this, but last year when Triple H had the Royal Rumble, after 28 people were eliminated and there was 2 people left, we saw those moments where they got to wrestle for like 15, 20 minutes.
Oh, for sure.
We didn't really get that this time. So I appreciated that because they put a lot of emphasis on the stories beforehand. Mm-hmm. Now we got to get to the result.
Yeah. Agreed.
Shout out to Tanya for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you. Cornell Bryant dropping $1.99. Most important question. So who does Cody face?
You want to talk about it?
Who do you think?
Look, I think after seeing the way that Punk walked out and how actually agitated and irritated that he looked, I'm going to say Punk. I think you can make a case for a lot of these guys, right?
Yeah.
You can make a case for a lot of them, but I still, just in my heart of hearts, believe that the biggest case of them all right now is 1000% CM Punk. I think
I don't think so.
That's fine. Yeah. I think after what we seen on Raw, I think with the favor, again, here's the thing, you can do him and Seth too, right? Without a belt, because that story just itself, it deserves a WrestleMania spot, just those two in general, Seth and Punk. But I think after what I witnessed on Raw between Cody and Punk and that back and forth and not realizing that that was actually something that I needed, I think that favor is going to have a lot to do with the Elimination Chamber now that I'm sitting here actually speaking out loud. Mm-hmm. And if you want to legitimize a CM Punk heel turn, hey, Paul, I need a favor, and it has something to do with the Elimination Chamber.
We're gonna get it at some point. One thing I want to say, we saw how stacked it is. I wouldn't mind a multi-man match for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. You know, if we're not getting The Rock,
yeah. You know, I had a conversation with somebody earlier, a buddy of mine, and he had mentioned that. And one thing I thought about, I was like, man, we haven't seen like a good multi-man match for the title. Since I want to say Cena, Orton, or Cena, Edge, and Big Show years ago. Like that was the last time I remember it like being on a WrestleMania card.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. I can't remember honestly off the top of my head, but
that's just me guessing. I'm not saying that's a fact. That's just me guessing here.
I want 5-6 men. I don't know how they do it, but if you're gonna have Cody drop the belt at Mania,
that's a good way to do it.
Having multiple people in the match to justify. I don't know. We'll see. Obviously, with WrestleMania, there's 2 nights. We'll see how many matches they try to get into both. But
April cannot come fast enough.
Yeah. Well, I think it's in May this year, isn't it? Or is it April?
No, it's still April.
It's still April.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Shout out to Cornell Bryant for the super chat. Great question. My simple answer, just one worded answer. Billy said Punk. I still pick John Cena. I think if you're going to do a singles match, it's John Cena versus Cody. And I think we do get that John Cena heel turn. I think there was a reason why John Cena was embracing Jey Uso tonight, but I don't think John Cena, as he goes on his journey, will 100% be a babyface. And they don't need him to. So we'll see, obviously, but who knows?
No, man, I don't see that all that. I do not see that at all.
Dave Arlo dropping $2 Canadian. He says, what an awful choice for a Rumble winner. I wish there was a little bit of context or substance to this as to why you feel that way. But at the end of the day, obviously it's subjective. Everybody's going to have their own opinions on it.
Right.
I think if they gave it to Roman, people would be pissed. I think if Punk won, people would be pissed. I think if Cena won in this situation, people would be pissed. I think people are going to be mad in general. But
naturally,
the fact they gave us something nobody saw coming, man. I mean, that's what it is. This is the situation. Nobody saw this coming. If people saw it coming, if this was a big thing that everybody believed in, I think everybody would have tweeted about it. Nobody really believed in it. And listen, WWE is a business at the end of the day. They're going mainstream. Jey Uso draws numbers, man. And we can't ignore that. We really can't.
Dude puts asses in seats, man.
Polino Channel dropping 100 rupees. He says, Alexa Bliss return. Ole says, internet said she is not coming back. Barrett don't give a shit about dirt sheets. Yeah, Dave Meltzer, man, you know, we talk about this stuff all the time. Dave Meltzer and all these people were fed the wrong information. I think at some point, multiple sources were obviously talking about Alexa's contract situation. Guys, it's right before the Rumble. Use common sense.
Yeah, come on, man.
Like, I don't know what it is about around this time of the year, but every year I feel like there's some fucking crazy, weird stuff that gets reported.
Yeah.
And Alexa Bliss returned, by the way. She returned with a Lily doll. It has the 6 on the eye. It's patched in. It's stitched in. So
I made a TikTok about the jacket she wore.
Yeah. Yeah. The Fiend, the Friend, Forever thing.
Yeah, it was beautiful, man. That was really cool. I enjoyed seeing that personally.
Dirt Sheets also came out and said that what's his name? Angelo Dawkins was injured.
Yep.
And he swerved everybody, and then he called out the Dirt Sheets on Twitter after the tag team match. So yeah. Shout out to Tolino Channel for the super chat. Jonathan says, I'm glad that Jay won. I would have loved to see your guys' reaction when he won. My reaction was just stunned, to be honest. Like, I was just genuinely stunned. I did not.
Well, I felt bad because I was a little bit behind you on the show.
Yeah.
And I was telling myself, I was like, I gotta wait till this is over. I'm not gonna look at my phone because everyone's texting me. And I was like, oh, dude, like, I'm not looking at my phone right now. They're all gonna know, they're all gonna tell me, and I want it to be a natural reaction. But I looked at my roommate, the guy that I live here with, and I looked at him. I said, hey man, regardless of what's about to happen, I'm here to tell you it's about to be Jey Uso.
Crazy,
man.
Crazy. Yeah, listen, my reaction, I was just stunned. Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I didn't expect it. Would have never guessed. We'll pull up the spreadsheets in a little bit too, so you guys can see how wrong we were on a lot of things and what we were right with. But it made sense, right? Like, if you think about it, like, if Jacob Fatu was in the final 2 in this position, or like final 4, right? Like, if there was certain guys, like my prediction about Penta lasting pretty much the entire match, if that was true, I think a lot of people would have been really unhappy. So they turned all these storylines that were currently happening or that they're working on, and they got through those eliminations kind of early. And that's why you saw guys like Seth and Drew and Damian and Dominic. Some of these guys ended up staying or coming out later in the match, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I said it was really well produced, and that's why my reaction was what it was. If Jey Uso came in at number 1, I probably would have expected Jey Uso to be like this Iron Man, shock the world, and then whatever. But the way they did this, I think it really threw me first.
Yeah, man. I'm overall though, like reaction wise, I'm happy about it. Don't get it twisted. I'm very happy with this.
Shout out to Jonathan for the super chat. DRecTube dropping $5. He says, if Cody didn't come back, I think Jay was going to end Roman's title. You know, it's interesting, right?
It is.
It's interesting because if you go back and especially with Vince booking would have been wild, man.
For
Like
sure. You don't even know where we'd be right now.
Vince probably would have fucked this shit up.
Yeah.
But he probably would have put the belt on Jey Uso before Triple H. Listen, here's what I'll tell you guys too. We got over 1,000 people watching across all platforms. So shout out to everybody coming through. Listen, if Vince booked Jey Uso to win, there would be a lot of outrage. With Triple H booking Jey Uso to win, I think there's a lot of excitement because Triple H is one of those guys who kind of does the predictable shit all the time.
Yeah, for sure. This was just naturally unpredictable.
And Triple H is always predictable.
Yes.
For the first time in Triple H's 2 years of running this shit, he has been
unpredictable.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
Love it though, man.
Imagine if Jey ended Roman's title reign.
Yeah, I think we'd be in a much different timeline right now.
And I would tell you right now, it would not be as good as it is right now.
No, regardless of what people think, this is the best that it's going to get. When we talk, and we talk throughout the week because, we're live Monday through Friday. When we talk throughout the week, we had these conversations strictly about how many stories were going on in this match. You do not get here without where we're at now, right? There is no other timeline that exists that this doesn't happen this way. This is a beautiful outcome in all stories involved.
Yeah.
You can have fake outrage. You can be mad. You can do all of those things regardless of that, right?
Yeah.
This made sense. It was right. It works. Stop with the fake outrage. Get over it.
Yeah. Facts. Shout out to D-Rec too for the super chat. Appreciate you. LMCT dropping $4.99. He says this was the worst choice for Royal Rumble winner. Jey is just a gimmick. He won't last. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you right now, from the many wrestlers that I talk to, many of them that have reached out to me, that I've built a relationship with, or whatever you want to call it, almost every wrestler I've ever talked to is wondering how they can get over on social media. It's the common thing that I hear often is, what can I do to get over on social media?
Yeah.
And this is an answer that WWE has for their talent because they're very, very specific in how they produce their content. They're very specific. So when somebody does have a catchphrase and they have the glasses and they have the shirt and the eat, right? WWE ain't looking to see if they can do 20 Canadian destroyers in a match. What they're looking to do is saying, hey, how can we get more and more people to buy into this? So unfortunately, it is about the gimmick, and being a good wrestler is just simply not good enough to be a big money draw in professional wrestling.
Yeah,
and this is why a lot of wrestlers do want that gimmick.
I think this is where we kind of look at Vince's WWE and we look at Triple H's WWE, and you kind of realize no matter what, there was always one common denominator throughout all of this, and it's if you're over, we're doing something with you.
Yeah. You got to get over, man. That's the reality.
Got to get
and
over.
imagine for those who don't like this, right? And this is my response to it is John Cena is the biggest wrestler pretty much ever. And John Cena got eliminated by the up and coming guy. So we went for 20 years where WWE struggled to create new stars, and then they just created one.
Yeah, for sure.
It took a little bit of time, but you can tell it's there. Do I think this lasts forever? No. Absolutely not. But I don't think that's the goal, because WWE isn't trying to make it last forever. Because that's not how business operates.
Absolutely not. Absolutely.
And they told you this because look at that emphasis that was put on Braun Breaker, right? Braun Breaker was going crazy. Jacob Fatu going crazy. Penta going crazy. What a big middle finger to AEW to have Rey Mysterio and Penta start off the Royal Rumble.
Dude, I love that.
We got some more on that too.
Yeah, for sure.
Shout out to LMCT for the super chat. Appreciate it. We got another one from D the Driver. They said Cody might be out for a while. Hey, that's a possibility, man. He got his ass beat.
Yeah, that match was fucking insane.
Dude, that ladder match is better than I thought.
Oh, dude, I did not have high hopes going into that. And I think that's where Triple H did really well, is because I didn't have high hopes. He was like, yeah, no, go out there and put on a banger.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we got. Yeah, it wouldn't shock me if Cody might be out for a while.
I'm gonna be real honest, right? Like when I was watching the Royal Rumble, you start off with the Women's Rumble, and it's fun. You get your moments, you get your surprises, you get your stuff. The tag team match is like they never really got into that second gear that just like made everybody go crazy. So I started to get a little bit bored.
Yeah.
Once it got to Kevin and Cody, I mean, as you guys know, I said it in the prediction show. Like, dude, it's very predictable. Cody's winning. So to me, I wasn't even as interested anymore because I already knew what the outcome was. But as soon as they stepped it up, man, Kevin and Cody were just going nuts. And once they started doing that shit with the ladders, and I was bought in, and then it got me brought back into the Royal Rumble. So if Cody's out for a while, we'll see what happens. But I think that match with Kevin Owens is going to be one of the best matches that is not the Royal Rumble on a Royal Rumble.
For sure, for sure. It was one of the best ladder matches that I've seen in quite some time.
Yeah. Phil dropping a $9.99. He says, I'm in absolute shock. Main event, Jey Uso is in the main event of WrestleMania. No one expected that. If you said Jey Uso, I tell you that you're a liar. Jey versus Gunther, this is insane. Yeah, I mean, listen, right? It could be Jey versus Gunther, but they might swerve us again.
Yeah, come on, man. We don't know anymore.
We don't know. I think Jey versus Gunther would be a lot of fun. I would really, really hate for Jey to win this Rumble and then to lose against Gunther.
What? Okay, so that was actually something that I was going to mention.
Yeah.
Because just because you win the Royal Rumble doesn't mean you win the main event. Right?
Yeah.
And Jey Uso, as over as he is, the real question is he favored over Gunther? If that's who he chooses to go against.
What if Gunther drops the belt before Mania? What if they throw another swerve?
What if they give it to Sammy? Sammy beats Gunther again. Sammy is Gunther's kryptonite, apparently.
I think gears have changed, man. Look at Sammy. Sammy's outside for Kevin Owens, and then you got Sammy. He gets eliminated by Jey. Again, guys, I'm telling you this shit ahead of time. Fucking click subscribe. Stop playing around. On Twitter and on YouTube when I'm live, I be saying shit. And like I said, I didn't predict Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble, but I've predicted that Jey Uso is going to get that world championship reign and Sammy's going to have that heel turn. I know Triple H is paying attention. Paul Levesque is listening to Ango because this shit is happening in real time, bro. So here's the thing. Once it gets to that point, all y'all motherfuckers are going to be saying, cinema, right? Like, we know this shit.
Cinema.
Am I lying or what?
No, bro. No, it's
the question always becomes, hey, what's going to be that next like cinematic thing that's like this crazy long-term story?
Something to do with Jey Uso and Sami Zayn.
And everybody's like, oh, well, after the bloodline. No, bro, the bloodline thing is going to keep happening, but this is the next wave. And then, by the way, don't get it twisted. Drew has his issues with Jey. So if Jey wins the world title, you got stories with Sammy, Drew, for sure Kevin Owens, who has his issues with the bloodline and all those guys, right? There are so many things they can do with it. Nobody's ready, bro. Nobody is ready for what is to come. For sure. I'm telling you, WWE, they knew going into this Royal Rumble, it's going to be like WrestleMania last year. It's a ripple effect for multiple stories for the next year. Mm-hmm. WWE has 2 years of full storylines they can do for WrestleMania 41, 42, 43. Like 100% based off this Royal Rumble, they've planted all the seeds.
Yeah,
mark my words.
For sure.
Shout out to Phil for the $9.99. Frank dropping a $4.99. He says, what do you guys think is next for Cody? Yeah, we kind of talked a little bit about this earlier. I think for sure, my opinion, it's got to be Cody versus Cena at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I don't agree with that, but I do like the take overall. But I just feel differently. I think there is a lot to be said about everything that happened with Punk and Cody in that face-off. But another thought of mine that kind of belittles my original thought is that maybe Punk's too in over his head. Maybe Punk really is the most egotistical person. He just looks like a really good guy on the surface. They
planted multiple seeds, and that walk by when he walked past Paul Heyman,
Yeah.
that changed everything. That was a moment where, holy shit, they planted that seed for Punk and Roman right there in that moment.
And
meanwhile,
easily be Punk and Roman.
But if they really want, it could be Seth, Roman, and Punk.
Yeah, there's so many. Because people forget the whole reason Seth and Roman ever happened in the first place is because of Punk.
Crazy. Full circle moment.
Full circle moment, man.
10 years ago, it's now changing the landscape for WWE television today. Crazy. Shout out to Frank for the super chat. We got another one from Pedro, $4.99. He says, love the story being told in men's Royal Rumble match. Joey winning was unpredictable, but loved it. Joey, is that his like real name, Joseph Fatu? I don't know. Or Jonathan Fatu? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
JEY Uso winning was unpredictable, but loved it. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's they got to that point where they were just telling so many stories throughout the entire match that it's like,
dude, come on. Beautiful moment.
You know what was actually really insane though in the men's rumble that we didn't talk about? I texted you about this. I was like, oh, putting Dominic where he was.
Yes, in that position.
Great stuff, man. Great stuff. So by the way, every moment in the men's and the women's Royal Rumble, every person had like their own little time to shine.
I said it to my roommate. I said them picking Logan Paul at 30 was going to get them so much heat. I loved the positioning of where people were. And
we didn't even talk about Speed, bro.
No, bro, but Speed was nuts.
I don't care what anybody says. When I saw Akira Tozawa walk out, I was fucking fuming, bro.
So was I, bro.
I was so mad because I'm like, how do you waste a spot on Akira Tozawa? Perfect way to do it. Carmelo attacks him. Triple H says, oh, we need somebody. And they put Speed in the Rumble. And by the way, he got fucking speared like crazy.
Bro, I thought Braun Breaker took his legs off.
Oh my God, that was amazing. And then obviously Braun throws him to Otis.
Yeah,
always slam or whatever. Like,
dude, he came out there. Didn't he have Crocs on?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to his feet. I don't look at people's feet.
He had Crocs on, dude. I couldn't help myself but laugh.
Oh, that was crazy.
Man.
Crazy.
Man.
Oh, and by the way, making moments, right?
For sure.
Moments.
For sure.
Speed in the ring with Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker had a lot of moments. This is calculated, bro.
I said it from the get up. Braun Breaker is WWE's future guy. Don't get it twisted. Down the line, you will see that man main event to WrestleMania. Come
Crazy.
back 4 years from now.
Yeah, it's happening. And he took out Carmelo, and then they explained it on commentary with their history in NXT. Yep. Really good stuff. Shout out to Pedro for the $4.99. Myra dropping a $9.99. She says they might just resume Jey versus Gunther in the WrestleMania main event. Comment. Either way, historical Royal Rumble, and Roman gets a 5-minute 9 count. Penta got the 1 foot count. Woo, I can breathe now.
I told you, man.
Crazy.
It was 1 foot. Oh, was it?
Crazy. Yeah.
I peeped.
What about Penta though, man? Penta.
Regardless of the 2 feet touching the ground, they weren't ready to have Rey Mysterio in there by himself. Regardless of that, Penta had a really good showing, man.
Oh,
that's not even on him. Those accidents happen. You know what I mean?
Better to happen in the beginning of the match than it is to happen at the end of the match when it's about to be the winner.
Right, exactly. When it matters most. He had a really good showing, man.
The real question is, would Jey and Gunther main event WrestleMania? That's my question.
Yeah, for sure.
Got to have main event Jey Uso and Gunther. Yeah, you're creating another. Well, actually, hold on. I got an idea.
Okay, hit me.
Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair.
You texted me that, and I'm not opposed.
Main event of night 2.
Damn, really?
Jey and Gunther. They do it because Cody, I think, might drop the belt at Mania.
Okay.
If Cody drops the belt at Mania, and obviously you want to send the crowd home happy. I don't know. We'll see. Who fucking knows? But
man.
Crazy. Shout out to Myra for the super chat. Appreciate you. Matt's Tube of You says he dropped a $10 super chat. He goes, great coverage, guys. Does a match in WWE at this point have to be a title match, even though it will be, in order to main event WrestleMania? The way WWE is firing on all cylinders, I think not. Thoughts?
You cool if I go?
Go ahead.
So, kind of what I spoke about earlier, Matt. I actually think that no, you do not have to have a title, quote unquote, main event WrestleMania. You can easily, no problem. I think when you look at the stories that are being told, Jane Gunther is great, and I do think that there's a great argument for that to main event WrestleMania. I think there is a great argument for John Cena and Cody Rhodes to potentially main event WrestleMania, Bianca and Rhea potentially. I think there is also a very, 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 very good argument that you can make that if you do not have The Rock, kind of what we talked about earlier, you can do a triple threat match between Roman, Seth, and Punk to potentially main event WrestleMania without a title because of the history. And if you are a longtime wrestling fan, because let's be real here, Triple H does a really good job at catering to not only the casual fan, but also does a really good job at catering to the hardcore fans. And that's why we get 2 nights of WrestleMania. We potentially get, or we're going to get 2 nights of SummerSlam. It's because this is a good way for WWE to capitalize on 2 markets at the same exact time. So I think there is a great argument that you can easily have WrestleMania main event without a title. Look at John Cena and The Rock, one of the years. That was without a title. That was just 2 really big names. And regardless of what people think, Seth, Roman, Punk, 3 biggest names in the company right now, easily, hands down, they can main event it. You could do Seth and Punk as a main event. You could do Seth and or Punk and Roman. There's so many different ways that you can go. I don't think you need a title anymore. I don't think the titles matter. Don't get me wrong, and they do a great job at making them matter. But right now, they're not everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. World titles have to main event.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that.
My only exception would be The Rock versus Roman, and that would be because you could do it in storyline where The Rock using his executive power. But other than that, World Championship should always be the main event.
I wouldn't say that is the case. I just think there is a lot of story going on, and you have to ask yourself, is the story bigger than the title?
Yeah. True. Shout out to Matt's Tube of You for the super chat. Frankie dropping another super chat for $9.99. He says, what do you guys think about not having as many surprise entrances in the men's rumble? We did get Joe Hendry. Who else?
There was Joe Hendry. There was I Show Speed.
And AJ Styles return. Not really surprised.
That was about it.
Yeah, honestly, my opinion is pretty simple. You don't need that many surprises for the men's rumble. It's never going to be that way. It's just too stacked of a roster to do that.
Yeah.
Which is how they like, honestly, even in certain aspects, I kind of hate that they wasted a moment with Speed, but I get why they did it.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it would have been really cool if they had Speed, like maybe Speed, like it would have been cool if Speed made his entrance and then somebody attacked him and replaced him.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I think surprises are fun.
Yes.
Am I forgetting any other surprise? It was Joe Hendry,
AJ Styles, I Show Speed. I want to say that was it. I genuinely think that was it.
The Joe Hendry going face to face with Roman is crazy.
Yeah, dude. Bro, hearing them sing Joe Hendry's song, 70,000 people, 65, 70,000, whatever it was, is crazy.
Yeah.
When you think about TNA as a company.
Yeah.
Like, that guy's over.
That partnership is sick, man.
WWE, they're geniuses. TNA, they're geniuses. Good for both of them.
So for the women, though, we got Nikki Bella, which I predicted.
Yeah, see, I did not predict that, and actually, I was not a fan of that.
We didn't get Becky.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
We obviously didn't get AJ Lee. But we still got surprised. We got Trish Stratus coming back, which was cool.
Yes, that was really cool. We seen Stephanie Vakira show up. We seen Julia show up. There was no Asuka.
Yeah, no Asuka. No Masha Slamovich, right?
Right.
But with the women, you'll see more surprises because there's not that many stories. And like you could tell with the men's rumble, there's just way more stories that are focused on. Like even Otis and Chad Gable had their moment. But then what was really cool was like the luchadors come out and Chad Gable's got to fight these luchadors. That's kind of a storyline right now that's happening. He's got to go to the dark arts, aka call Malachi Black.
We'll be back soon.
Yeah. Shout out to Frank for the $9.99. We got Tolino Channel dropping 100 Indian rupees. He says Fatu versus Braun. Last monster standing. No bread, no water, just meat. Drew versus Sammy. Cody versus Punk. Favor versus Roman. Elimination Chamber. Ladder match for U.S. title. Yeah, for WrestleMania, I'm going to be honest. I don't know what their plan is for Jacob Fatu. I don't know if it includes him and Braun. I think they're going to do that sooner.
Yeah, for sure.
Drew versus Sammy, I don't think that's saved for WrestleMania.
No.
I think they're going to build between Drew and Damian Priest at some point.
Can I jump in and say that there's also another story that you can kind of take from this?
What?
Okay, hear me out. It's just a long shot, but it's something that we're missing. And it's that Kevin came out and asked Sammy, he said, "Hey, man, you're going to help me, right?"
Yeah.
And Sammy never helped him. He was just there.
Yeah.
So there's also that we're forgetting.
No, I think Kevin and Sammy is a singles match for WrestleMania. I think Sammy stays babyface until the moment Jay officially wins the world championship. The heel turn doesn't happen before, it happens after. They've planted the seeds already for Sammy to turn heel. Yes. They're not going to do it yet. So Sammy versus Kevin Owens. Sammy could lose to Kevin Owens, which would be the right idea.
Yes.
And that should trigger Sami Zayn's heel turn.
Come out at the end of the because if you have Jay main event, have Sammy come out, congratulate him. Oh,
crazy, right?
The low blow or something at the end. Come on, dude.
Crazy. A lot of possibilities. A lot of possibilities, man. It's insane. Shout out to Tolino Channel for the super chat. He, the driver, dropping $2 USD, says Cena just hinted at a heel turn on the post show.
I don't believe it.
I'm not watching the post show, but I've been fantasy booking Cena doing the.
Probably watch it.
We're gonna lower the standing desk. We're gonna sit and chill.
Oh, you coming back down to life, brother?
Hell yeah!
Hold on one second.
Billy's gonna do whatever Billy's got to do. It doesn't matter. Guys, as you can tell, I'm not using my normal microphone because I'm waiting for a new mixer to come in. So that's why I'm not using this. Doesn't really matter. Just letting you guys know. Let's make myself full screen until Billy comes back.
Come back.
Oh, he's back. Okay, cool. Cena just hinted at a heel turn. I hope it happens. I'll watch the post show later. It's a busy night.
Yeah, for sure. I'll watch it after.
Oh, Billy's frozen, so we're going to go back to being full screen because I don't know what the hell is happening with that. Shout out to D the Driver for the super chat. Appreciate you, bro. LMCT dropping $4.99. We have a lot of super chats to get through.
I'm back.
Billy, are you back?
Yeah, dude.
Okay, cool. LMCT says, who did LA Knight piss off? He is still over and getting nothing. Shinsuke and Braun getting traded would open up a lot of fresh matches.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, LA Knight, he's in limbo. He got his moment, and for now, he's just floating around. They have him in the main event of SmackDown and stuff like that, but
he's still a part of storylines that are going on.
I just thought of something. Hold on. You know, it's so funny because people will say, who did LA Knight piss off? But those are the same people who aren't necessarily happy that Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble. Am I right? Yeet.
Anybody who hates the Jey Uso thing, you would have been mad at LA Knight too, like regardless of the fact fake outrage, baby, fake outrage.
It's just the way it is in the wrestling world. I don't know what to tell you. It is what it is. Shout out to LMCT for the super chat. Appreciate you. We got a couple more. Actually, we got a lot more. I'm trying.
I was about to say, man, these things are flying in.
Dave Arlo dropping 5. He says, I'm hoping they have Jay to lose his title shot at Elimination Chamber. WWE has a stacked main event scene, and the Jay Gunther has been done. Or what if Gunther drops his belt at Elimination Chamber?
Yeah, because you have to understand, Jay technically already got his shot, right?
Yeah.
And now we know that there's going to be a number one contenders Elimination Chamber Could there be a match for the World Heavyweight Championship? Could there be a World Heavyweight Championship match inside of the chamber? Could there just be a normal, championship match? We know that Gunther is going to defend it, right? I think that's a given.
Yeah.
And if not, he'll defend it at, one of the Raws or something like that.
One thing that nobody's really considering too is that they can always have this possibility of Jay losing his title shot. I don't think they would do that. But one thing that nobody's considering is the fact that they didn't have Jey Uso point to Cody or Gunther sitting in a press box like they did with the winners last year.
For sure.
So maybe that was intentional. Nobody's really talking about that. I don't see anybody mentioning it in the chat. I know we didn't mention it, but that was something with Jey Uso. He pointed at the sign, but he didn't point. Like Cody, when he won, he pointed at Roman, They didn't do that this year. Maybe WWE did that on purpose because they're like, hey, we don't fucking know what we're doing. That's always a possibility too, man. WWE is like, they're interesting with that kind of shit.
You never know what's going to happen here.
Yeah. Shout out to Dave Arlo for the 5. Kevin Schiffman dropping 5. He says, Sammy kicking Seth right out of the gate sets up the heel turn for sure.
Yeah.
Who knows, man?
Yeah, honestly.
I mean, they're planting seeds. Everything's been a seed planted, right?
Yes.
But Triple H loves that long-term booking. I tell you guys, you got to watch it every week. It's the little details. It's the little things.
You have to pay attention now, man.
Yeah, if you don't like long-term storytelling, like this company is not for you because that's what they're doing.
Yep.
But I think the moment that he got eliminated by Jay, that was the biggest seed planted. For sure, that's the biggest seed planted.
Yeah, it is.
Shout out to Kevin Schiffman for the 5. Appreciate you. We got more. Where we at? Gotta keep scrolling. Dave Arlo dropping another 5. He says, what's your thoughts on WWE Evolve and going up against AEW Dynamite? Oh, I've been waiting to get to this. I'm glad it popped up as a super chat.
What, the ratings war?
Yeah, WWE announced today that they landed a new show with a new TV deal.
Yep.
The one that everybody thought AEW would get for ROH.
Mm-hmm.
Or AEW Shockwave or ROH. That's not happening because WWE has signed a deal with Tubi. Great, it's free. You don't have to pay for Tubi. So everybody could download the app. Fox owns the app. The WWE's relationship with Fox is really good still. WWE Evolve will air on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. So here's the good news. At 2 p.m. or 12 p.m. on Thursdays, when we go live for the Ango show,
yep.
I ain't watching no more fucking Dynamite. Bring me Evolve, baby. Bring me Evolve. WWE having Evolve, a show where WWE ID, prospects, indie talent, people get to work. I'm all for it.
Up in the ranks, man.
They're going to have their own stories and stuff, and it's a call-up system, right? They'll be able to get called up to NXT, and from NXT to Raw or SmackDown, and then hopefully from Raw or SmackDown to PLEs and WrestleManias. 8 p.m. on Wednesdays. Tony Khan fucked up. I'll say it a million times. Tony Khan fucked up.
Bro,
Tony Khan.
Can you imagine the outrage if Evolve won in the ratings?
It's not even going to happen. They're not even going to tell us about the viewership because it's 2B. I don't think they really give a shit. But all I'm saying is this. They could have picked Thursdays and gone up against TNA, but they're not going to do that with TNA.
Because they're partnered with TNA.
And if WWE Evolve is a great show, which, by the way, Gabe Sapolsky's running it, if this is like WWE's own little indie show where they get to wrestle a little bit more and they have their storylines, dude, this is going to fucking get to the point where it will eventually take a dent into AEW.
For sure.
Because this would satisfy those hardcore fans that want that hardcore product from WWE. So, yeah, I think, me personally, I think it's a huge thing for WWE. Monday, we got Raw. Tuesday, NXT. Wednesday, we got WWE Evolve. Thursday, we got TNA. Friday, we got SmackDown. I think this announcement, for the most part, like being honest, I think this announcement makes it a little bit easier for me as a content creator to say less AEW focus for review, like for the live streams. Because I personally am not enjoying watching the AEW product, and I don't think it really makes a lot of sense to watch 2 hours of Dynamite and then, yeah,
no.
What did you think of that Wednesday night time slot? You know,
I mean, I think we could all kind of see this coming, right? It's only a matter of time before they put something on Wednesday, and it just so happens they are going to put quote it's the bottom of the totem pole in WWE, and that's just right now. You never know what the show is going to be. I'm not going to sit here and bash the show that I've never seen before,
yeah,
but I will say that they put the lowest standard on Wednesdays with an idea that there is a chance that it could be really good and please that Wednesday night audience that already exists.
yeah.
So,
What this is reminding me of is the FCW days.
yeah, that's exactly what it reminded me of.
So if they have titles and stuff, I think that's a good thing. If they have storylines, that's a good thing.
Mhm.
I think
it should be just a wrestling show.
yeah, and I think if they were really, really smart, I highly encourage WWE to actually say, you know what, John Cena show up on the first episode.
Yeah, yeah.
John Cena meeting a kid backstage and being like, "Hey, I hope I see more of you. Good luck, kid."
Giving them
Just
that.
something.
Yeah,
Just like a nice little rub from John Cena or like a top star, right? Cody. Like, granted, the focus is not to have the main roster guys or even really NXT talent on there.
but it's kind of what WWE did with Cena back in 2002 with Undertaker come-ins and a good match.
Yeah, like do something like that with Cena. Advertise Cena is on the first episode and just see what the reaction is when John Cena shows up on a Raw is the A show, SmackDown's the B show, NXT's the C show, right? SmackDown's the B show, NXT's the C show, the D show. Imagine if the D show beats the fuck out of AEW. My God,
come on,
crazy. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just. Listen. I'm
too much bashing tonight.
I've known that Evolve was coming. I've known this. Obviously, I've been covering it on my channel.
Yeah.
I did not think it was happening on Wednesday nights. When Michael Cole announced it on Wednesday nights, I just started fucking laughing because the first thing I thought of was like, okay, cool. I don't have to watch Dynamite.
I cracked up.
I don't have to watch Dynamite. So
whatever.
And when the first episode goes live, I'll do a post show because why not?
Sure. For sure.
Oh, man, that's so funny. Shout out to Dave Arlo for the 5. Tattoo Nick. Oh, my God. It's been forever since I've seen Tattoo Nick in the chat.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Holy shit. Tattoo Nick dropping $9.99. He says, I'm glad Alexa Bliss came back. I'm glad Cena put over JEY USO. I wish there were some more surprises. Yeah, far more surprises for the women than the men's. I agree, though. I'm glad Alexa Bliss came back. And
sure.
The YS6 thing, she's got new merch. Nikki Bella's got new merch. Trish Stratus has new merch. So the women are going to have a nice build to WrestleMania. I know we haven't talked as much about the women today. A lot of these super chats didn't have that, but yeah, dude, fucking sick. Like, good surprises, good moments. A lot of the younger talent from NXT showing up and being able to, like Lash Legend having a couple great moments.
Yeah.
Bianca Belair having a really cool spot with the turnbuckle and the backflip and the turnbuckle and the backflip. A lot of great things happened in the women's match. I think as much as I was right about Charlotte Flair, I don't like. I get it, but I don't really like the decision.
Right.
I would have much rather had Io Sky coming in at, like, you had her predicted at number 1. I was like, shit, I would have had her win.
Yeah, no, I kind of figured Io Sky would start that match and she would go on a nice little run, which obviously she did. But Nick, to kind of follow up here, just understand that with the surprises, yes, we've been positioned to think about surprises in the Royal Rumble and think that they are, they are supposed to happen. When you look at the men's roster right now and you look at the women's roster, which is a little more lackluster currently, those are going to be where you get more of your surprises. The men's right now, there's a lot of storyline going on, so it makes a lot of sense for WWE to not have to have a lot of current surprises. So yeah, no, I'm also glad that Alexa Bliss came back. If you guys want, you can go follow me over on TikTok. I actually talked about this over on TikTok. I was actually really, really happy, and I love the callback that she did to Bray Wyatt and everything like that. It was such a beautiful moment. And yeah, Cena putting over JEY USO. I mean, you remember when people used to hate John Cena for saying like, "Oh, he's never going to put over another guy."
Yeah.
Look at us now. Look at us now.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Yes. Shout out to Tattoo Nick for the super chat. Tolino channel dropping 100 rupees. We got to get through these really, really quick, guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
Jay wins World Heavyweight Championship. He becomes the tribal chief. Roman doubts about losing the power. Eventually, Sammy will get help from the bloodline who do not like Jay. Never know.
Damn.
That's a possibility. We got a couple more. Tattoo Nick dropping another one, $4.99. AEW was so good in the beginning. Now they just suck. I definitely agree with that. Kevin Schiffman, $5 USD. Seth Rollins, Punk night 1, and winner faces Cody night 2. I like that idea.
I don't hate it.
Jose Antillon drops 5. He says triple threat match for tag team championship at Mania, and Alexa Bliss coming back is awesome. Ready to pair with the Y6. I'm down for a triple threat. Street Profits are now heel. Very, very good way to end that match and have a moment for a tag team match. So I 100% agree.
Yeah, I like it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to conclude the stream. It's almost 12 o'clock. Got some stuff to take care of. Last minute super chat from Phil. Let's address it really quick. Yep. $4.99. Though there weren't that many surprises in both Royal Rumble matches, these Rumbles did exactly what they needed to do: develop stories and make moments.
Yeah, like I said, I think right now where we stand with wrestling in the current state that we're in, especially in WWE, the stories can kind of tell the Rumble for you. So yeah, beautiful, man.
Yeah. With that being said, thank you guys all for watching. I appreciate everybody's love. We'll talk more on Monday.
Yes.
Something just came up, so I gotta go.
What do you think?
But with that being said, I appreciate everybody. Shout out to Billy. Follow him on YouTube at BillyTKO. Thank you to everybody for the super chats. We absolutely nailed the goal. Almost 1,000 people watching between Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. So at one point we hit over 1,000. The watch time was amazing. You guys are incredibly awesome. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.